All right. Hello, everybody. Yeah, we're just gonna keep doing this, okay? Because I want to get through. I want to get through this. Welcome to episode 120 of Psycho's Platters. Sign. Everyone signs the fourth and final part of this, okay? So this one going to be a little bit less researched. I just want to get through the rest of it for you guys, okay? This we're going to start off with one of my favorite albums from the from the late 70s. Okay? The Dream Police, they got inside of my head. Okay, Cheap Trick from 1979 Dream Police album. Honest to God, this is one of my favorites. This might be the best album in my eyes that they ever did. Signed by Robin Zander. This one here is a gatefold. Okay, so front, back, beautiful stuff. Trying to remember here. Hang on a second. For 1979, it does have the inner picture sleeve, but I wonder if I could pull that out really quick, or would that be too much of a pain in the ass? I always like this. It's so damn cool. All right, it is a blue label because I'm trying to remember. Wouldn't 1979 have been an orange Target label? I can't remember, guys. Sorry. So I think it came out in late '79. But so needless to say, signed by Robin Zander. Now, over the years, I went to three Cheap Trick concerts, and I've met everybody but Tom Peterson. The first time, this would have been, I think, 2004 when I got this signed by Robin. I managed to catch him leaving the Rockford Davis Park outdoor venue, and short, like minutes before Bunny Carlos left. Okay, but he was in a damn hurry and he seemed cranky. I'm not gonna lie. Which when I met him the year before with Rick, they both seemed all nice as could be. I met him sound check. I met Rick and Bunny at a sound check in '03. But I wish I had this album back then. Instead, I got them to sign a cassette copy of their greatest hits, the one on Epic, with the Magical Mystery Tour as the bonus track. So this was the only Cheap Trick vinyl I've got. But Robin signed this for me. He was very gracious. He was on his way to go catch his kids in a band. Most of the Cheap Trick people, they have offspring that are musical. All right, this one here, I have 3/4 signed the Romantics in Heat album. This would have been, I think, 2005, 2006. It literally was the last Oscar Fest. If you remember from the last episode, the Quiet Riot story. This was this was the following year. Maybe this was 2004. I'm sorry, 2004, because they didn't have any more Oscar Fests to my knowledge after this, because the weather was just so bad in late September. Every year it was raining like crazy. It's pretty much everybody but Jimmy Marinos, the drummer. So you've got Cos Candler, Wally Palmer, and Mike Skills autographs. The drummer, of course, at this lineup, even though they cut a new CD at that time frame with the classic lineup of all four, the drummer didn't stick around. Jimmy Marinos didn't stick around. He stayed in Detroit, and the rest of them went out on tour and picked up Brad Elvis from the Elvis Brothers. I've brought him up before. He originally got started out, Brad did, in a band called Screams, which actually opened up for Van Halen in the mid to late 1970s. But he's been with Romantics since 2004, I want to say. Really nice guy. I mean, these guys were generally nice, but it was one of those weird little things where I went off and I kind of half snuck in to the back. The snow fence was down, and I had a big beefy security guard hand at my neck, and I tapped Brad Elvis on the shoulder, and he goes, it's all right, let him stay." I ended up having pizza and Heineken with those guys. They were so cool. Here's a little interesting one. How about this? Did you know that Ed McMahon cut an album on Cameo Parkway in the mid-1960s. Yeah, most people didn't know that. And me, I'm Ed McMahon. Ha ha ha! Yeah, I can't. Yes! Okay. Anyways, I met him in 2007. He was at the Rouse Center in Crystal Lake doing a Tonight Show tribute, so to speak, but also, to promote his book, which was very, very popular at that time. I stuck around with my buddy Scott afterwards, and I managed to get him to. I found this literally for like 50 cents at a Rockford flea market stall. Found a copy for Scott too, and I also got signed the highlights of the Tonight Show on Casablanca Records, and it's the album that pretty much almost crippled Casablanca Records. Seriously enough, if it wasn't for Kisses Alive, Casablanca wouldn't have existed after 1975-76. That's a truth too. So I got him to sign this, and he looks at it and says, "My God, I haven't signed a copy of this in many years. Where did you get this from?" So I told him the truth, and he laughed about that. Here's the front, here's the back. If you've never heard this, there's the Cameo label, okay? His version of Georgie Girl, I admitted that to him, and he laughed. He said it was just an interesting one-off. All right, how about this? I remember getting these next two albums for 10 cents. Okay, 10 cents at the same sale. This was in Harvard, Illinois, early 2000s. It was a moving sale, and they were just like, there's some dead relative in the records. I'm sorry, I don't know what year this is. I know that Hank Thompson recorded from 1947 to 1965 on Capitol Records. This one here, especially for you, Hank Thompson, right? Hank Thompson and the Brazos Valley Boys. Well, get this. It's autographed by Hank Thompson and everyone that played on this album. So whoever was in the Brazos Valley Boys, and I really can't read this. There's a Billy, there's a oh dear Lord, a Bob? I don't know. Maybe a Carl on here. Needless to say, we've got, Hank Thompson wrote in here. This is all in black and red Sharpie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 autographs. 7 autographs. Basically, it's the whole damn band. And for 10 cents, I couldn't believe they got rid of it that way. Another one that was in the 10 cents. And they said that for the Hank Thompson, they met him in Chicago. That's the only close story I've got. So they met him in Chicago when everybody signed the back of it, okay? That person was no longer around to tell me any more of the story. Just like this one here, too. I have a signed Conway Twitty, the Southern Comfort album from Elektra Records. Really kind of a neat little autograph. That one was picked up Walworth County Fair. He signed at Walworth County Fair. This album came out in 1982. And if I remember correctly, Conway's been dead since the mid to late 90s. So I'm happy to have it. All right, this one here. The Boys, Too Wild to Tame. These guys originally got started in the mid to late 1970s. From East Dundee, Illinois. It's a local outfit from my neck of the woods. On Epic Records, they cut 2 albums. This is the only one I ever see, though, is this first one. This one is on a Target Epic, all right? Your main people in here, you got Dirty Dan Buck. He was the lead singer. Mike Tafoya, who still ends up doing a band called the Lost Boys, David Angel, Jill Peeney, Kent Cooper. This one here, I know you can't see it, but it's autographed by Mike Tafoya. He also signed another album. There was an offshoot band in early '82 on Epic called The Bees. B with a ZZ, and it looks like the butt of a bee on the cover, and it's called Get Up, and that album is also hard to find too. But I had him sign that as well. I couldn't find it right away. They even made an appearance on American Bandstand. Go figure. All right, guys. I love Christian music. I do sometimes. This one here was signed in Williams Bay, Wisconsin, in the what was it? The late '90s, maybe around 2000. But it says, to Paul Pease, peace to you, my brother, Phil Keaggy. Phil Keaggy got his start in a late 1960s band on Decca called Glass Harp. It was a trio. It was him. There was a guy that would end up in Michael Stanley Band and somebody else. If you have never heard Phil Keaggy's work, go listen on YouTube. Go buy some of his stuff. I saw him play live in 1985-86 by himself. He brought two guitars, an electric and acoustic. He made that electric sound like a violin. Tears are almost coming down my face. I never saw or heard an experience like that. The man's a genius. He is. He is a literal God-given genius. So go check out Phil Keaggy. These last two albums here, Wishbone Ash came to a small club in Poplar Grove, Illinois. The club ain't there anymore. This would have been around 2003, 2004. Andy Powell was the only original member left. He signed my copy of Wishbone Ash, which in my opinion is, or Argus, excuse me, the best damn Wishbone Ash that ever came out. Of course, on Color Bar Decca, the whole damn album rocks. If you don't know what that's about, go buy a copy. I'm not kidding you. And then I also got him to sign on MCA label Wishbone 4, which is really nice. There is two versions of Wishbone Ash. Andy Powell pretty much does the U.S. version. Martin Turner, the bass player, does the Europe version. So, like I said, and Andy was a nice guy too. Sometimes the band still gets together originally, but it's very rare due to a lot of litigations and junk like that. But so go check out Wishbone when they do play live here in the States. He's got some crack musician people. You will not be disappointed. Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark and Night Owl Lounge with Mike Adams, Sundays 6 to 9 p.m. and 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Best damn radio shows out there. This is Rock and Roll Radio. Also another one, Carl and Company, doing their best from 8 to 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thrifty Music Collectors Group, Tim Smith and Company, always rocking it out. Shindig Magazine, the best damn rock magazine that's out there from England. And lastly, the YouTube vinyl community. Without you, I wouldn't be here, and neither would you. Everybody take care. God bless. I'm done for now. See you next episode in a week or two.